Well, the eyes of the whole world will be attracted to the Cameroon, where the draw of the third round of the African World Cup qualifiers will be held on the 22nd of January. The details in the following report. All eyes will be on the Cameroonian city of Douala, where the draw of the third round of the African World Cup qualifiers will be held on the 22nd of January. The Confederation of African Football CAF said in a statement that the 5 highest ranked teams will play against the 5 least ranked teams. The first leg will be played at home of the lower ranked teams. According to the FIFA ranking published in November 2021, the Pharaohs are placed in the 6th ranking of the qualified 10 teams and will face one of the top 5 ranking nations, Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria and Nigeria. Egypt will play the first leg at home and they will be required to win the ticket for the World Cup away from home. The playoffs format does not bring good memories for the Egyptian fans, as Egypt suffered a 7-3 loss on aggregate when they faced Ghana in 2014 World Cup playoffs. Egypt hopes for a fourth appearance in the biggest competition in the world and the second straight appearance for the first time in the history of the Pharaohs. To shed more light, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Mr. Hatem Maher, sports editor. Good afternoon, Mr. Maher.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Maher, how do you see the form of competition after the emerging cases of the corona infection among some players and the replacement of a large number of them in many teams?
I think the team that will have the better chances to win the Nations Cup is the team that will avoid the COVID scare. Because as we have seen, there are many infections among several teams. Some of the big teams will hit with many infections, and that will greatly affect them. Like for example, Senegal, which is one of the tournament favorites, lost their goalkeeper, the Chelsea goalkeeper Mendy. So that directly affects
Would
the
affect,
chances.
yes, of course.
CAF wants to proceed at any cost, so it decided to, as long as any team has 11 players available that can play, then the match will go ahead. Otherwise, those who have less than 11 players ready for the game will lose the game without playing. So that means for me it will not be only the competition on the pitch. It will be about who can avoid the biggest number of infections of coronavirus infections.
So, Mr. Maher, how do you see the Egyptian national team's preparations for the tournament in light of the performance it presented in the Arab Cup?
Thankfully, we only lost one goalkeeper, the understudy Mohamed Abu Gabal, so far to COVID-19. So we have almost a fully fit squad, and this is a great advantage now. Hopefully, that will continue. Hopefully, we will not have any more infections. Fingers crossed. There were some negative aspects of Egypt's game at the Arab Cup, but I think this is no indication to how Egypt will fare at the Nations Cup, because simply we played without many of our stars, including most of the foreign-based players like Mohamed Salah or Omar Marmoush or Trezeguet. So we now have all of those players available. So I think we will see a very different Egypt side from the one that played at the Arab Cup. Hopefully, it won't be difficult to progress from the group, because apart from Nigeria, we should not face stiff competition from Guinea-Bissau or Sudan. So I think we have a good chance to progress to the next round, and then we can take it from there and move step by step towards the final.
So, Mr. Maher, is it possible to rely on international players despite the short period of collective preparation?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Is it possible to rely on international players despite short period of preparation?
Yeah, definitely, because this is the case with all of the teams. We are no different than the big teams in Africa. All of the teams have their players based in Europe, and they joined up with the respective teams late because they were granted an exemption from the normal FIFA rules. The normal FIFA rules state that players should join up with the national teams 14 days before a major tournament. But this has changed because of the pressure the European clubs applied on FIFA and CAF to have the players available in their domestic competitions until the last minute. So that meant that the likes, for example, like Mohamed Salah, had to join up with Egypt late. So I think there's no team will have an advantage over the other because we are all in the same boat, as we say.
Mr. Maher, does announcing the expectations of the winner of the tournament through the artificial intelligence, which is Nigeria, would this affect or have a negative side affect the psychological state of the players?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
There were some news revolving that there were expectations announcing the winner of the tournament through the artificial intelligence, which is Nigeria. Would this affect psychologically the state of the players?
Yeah, I think so. And Nigeria have lost one of their most key players ahead of the tournament, who is Victor Osimhen, who plays for Napoli. He's one of the top-rated African strikers, so they will not have him available for the entire tournament.
Yes.
And they have several other cases. So I think this gives Egypt an advantage. Like I said, thankfully we have almost a fully fit squad. Yes. So I think we can have an edge in Tuesday's game, and on paper we look better. We look in a better shape, and we should secure an opening win, hopefully.
Yes. So, Mr. Maher, is it possible to predict, or what are your expectations concerning the round?
Concerning
the tournament.
I think Egyptian fans will not be satisfied by anything less than the title itself, or at least an appearance in the final.
Yes.
I know that there is a very strong competition specifically from Algeria and Senegal, who are the top-rated teams in Africa now. But Egyptians are used to seeing the national team compete for the Nations Cup, and we have not won the title for 12 years now. So this is, by our standards, this is a very long time.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Mr.
think
Maher,
it's time to at least mount a serious challenge.
Yes. What about your expectations concerning the Egyptian team? The Egyptian national team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we can reach the semis. We have what it takes to reach the semis at least. I'm not sure. It's also luck has a major role to play, because it's all about who you get in the draw in the next rounds. For example, you can get a very tough team in the round of 16, and you can have an easy path towards the semifinals. So it depends on the draw, but I think Egypt has what it takes to reach at least the semifinals.
What would the Egyptian team need to continue in the competition and to reach to the World Cup for the 4th time?
Sorry?
What would the Egyptian team would need, and who are the most important players in the Egyptian team who would help the team to continue and reach to the finals?
I think most of the Egyptian fans are pinning their hopes definitely on Mohamed Salah, first of all, because he's the standout player in our team and the biggest star in whole Africa. But I also think that he will get some good support from striker Mustafa Mohammed and winger Omar Marmoush, who is a very promising winger. Although his international experience is not that big, He has just made his debut in the World Cup qualifier against Libya in October. But he has shown that he has very good skills that could be very helpful for Egypt. So I think he will be one of the key players we have at the tournament. Plus Salah and Mustafa Mohamed and Trezeguet, mainly those who play in Europe, are the ones who can make a difference in the Nations Cup and in the World Cup qualifiers.
Mr. Maher, as we are starting now the year 2022, could you give us your evaluation of the Egyptian national team during the year 2021?
Generally, I think we did well. At least we fulfilled our main targets, which were qualifying for the final phase of the World Cup qualifiers and qualifying for the African Nations Cup. So as long as we achieved our target, I think this is completely fine. And I believe the arrival of Portuguese coach Carlos Queiroz has given Egypt a boost in its confidence. He's a very experienced manager who managed great teams in the world, like Real Madrid, for example. So his experience is a great asset to the Egyptian national team. So I think this is one of the positive things that happened to Egypt in last year. I hope that choice will pay off in the Nations Cup and the World Cup qualifiers. I'm personally very optimistic for this year.
Thank you very much for your time and for your valuable information, Mr. Hatem Maher, sports analyst. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time.